Get your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.
Each form in a page has a set of properties you can set to define the way the information in the form is processed when a visitor clicks the Submit button. To view the form's properties, right-click inside the form and click Form Properties. The form is outlined by a thin dotted line. If you plan to use the built-in form handler, it will only work if you publish your site on a server that supports FrontPage extensions. By default, FrontPage saves your form results to a text file in your site. The first time a visitor submits a form, FrontPage will create the file and store the results to it. From that point on, FrontPage will simply append the next submitted form's results to the same file. You set the file processing capabilities for the form in the Form Properties dialog box. In this dialog box, you can enter a name for the results file into the file name field. If you store the results file in the private folder, it will remain hidden from web browsers. This is generally a good idea. You could also click the Browse button at the right end of the file name field to store the results in a pre-existing file. If you want the results sent to an email address, simply enter the desired address into the email address field. If you'd like the results sent only to an email address, erase the file name in the file name field. If you'd like your results sent to a database, select Send to Database. And if you have a custom CGI or other type of script, select Send to Other. Then, in the Form Properties section, you can give your form a name. Once you're done here, you can click the Options button to set up further options for the file or email that you have just specified. The tab on which you select options depends on whether you selected a file, email address, or both. First off, let's look at the File Results tab. Here, you can change the format of the file using the File Format dropdown. Be sure to change the file extension in the file name if you change the type to something that uses a different extension. You can also select or deselect options to include field names in the results and to put the latest results at the end of the results file. You can also specify a second file for the form results to be delivered to if necessary. On the Email Results tab, you can again change the format of the results, but you can also enter a subject to automatically fill into the subject line of the email and enter a reply to address. Then, on the Confirmation Page tab, you can enter the URL, either by typing or by using the Browse button, of the page to display when the form is submitted successfully. This is not absolutely necessary for the form to function properly, but you can set a confirmation page if you have one created. You can do the same for the Validation Failure page. This will be an option if you have set up validation rules, which we'll be discussing later in the lesson. Next, on the Saved Fields tab, you'll see a listing of the different field names. Here you can select the fields for which you would like the information entered by visitors saved. To do this, simply select and delete any of the names of fields that you do not want to save. You can then select formats for the date and time from the Date format and Time format dropdowns if you'd like. You can also select the options for remote computer name, browser type, and username if you'd like to collect this information. When you're finished, click OK. Then, back on the Form Properties dialog box, click OK again. It's quite common for FrontPage to give you an error telling you that the results cannot be sent via email. However, this is usually a false error because FrontPage thinks that this is a disk-based web page. The error asks you if you would like to remove the email recipient. Since this is usually a false error, usually you can click No here and everything will work just fine.
Like what you see? Pick up your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.